That lasted a little longer than I planned. Why? We've still got music. My goodness. That lasted a little longer than I planned. Oh. Is this Rookie? Rookie has YouTube open. Hello, everybody. I'm a little preoccupied tonight, so excuse me. I'm not as organized as I'd like to be. Tonight, we're just going to talk about some Christmas traditions, and I'll get to that. First of all, we're just going to take a look over, see who's in the chat. Busby was here early, saying it's almost time. So I said, welcome. Call me B in here, right on the dot at 6 o'clock. Wow. We have Josh from Moonlight Adventures. We got Najuma. Hello, Najuma. We got crazy sirens going outside. I think it was a police one. Moonlight Adventures. We got Meg, who's working and listening and saying hello to everybody. Well, since I didn't get on the ball and get, yes, please hit all the buttons on the way in. Push that doorbell. We've got a Christmas company coming. Ring the doorbell. Come on in. I'm going to go over here. Since I didn't get my link drop for guests coming in, I'm going to paste it there. And we'll pin it to the top. Anybody wants to come and join me and chat about Christmas traditions, you're more than welcome. I just have to see your face. Sorry. I prefer people that don't hide behind emojis. I know if my friends come up and they have to go off for a minute, that's one thing, but I really don't. I prefer people that don't hide behind the emojis. So if anybody wants to come up and chat, you're more than welcome. So I was thinking about, we got Christmas coming in 17 days. That's coming quick. I may start the Christmas shopping and I may finish the Christmas shopping. A little in between. Shopping on a budget this year, cruise and everything else kind of put a dent in it. I treated me this year. But, a few things under the tree so far and a few more things I got to get. So working on it. Work in progress. So I was thinking about traditions. I'm thinking way back. The traditions when I was a kid. I'm trying to think. I know on my mom's side of the family, we used to get together on Christmas Eve. And that would be my granddad, because my nana had already passed. So it was my granddad, my aunts, and my cousins. We all get together Christmas Eve for dinner. And it was a tradition. My mom would cook a goose on Christmas Eve because that's what her mom cooked. So growing up, I had goose on Christmas Eve. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it was a nice change. There were still all the other goodies, the vegetables and the stuffing and the potatoes and all that stuff and all the baking. And my aunt always, because her husband's family was from Quebec, his aunts and that, she would make a tortilla pie. And it was really good. I always look forward to that every year. But then as years went on and family dynamics changed and stuff, it was usually a bought one, but I miss that tortilla pie. But I do have the recipe, so one of these times I'm going to actually make it myself. Now, Christmas morning, it would be me and my mom and dad, because I was the only child, and we'd get up and we'd do Christmas morning, open gifts, and I don't know if there was any traditional breakfast that we would do. I don't think there was. I think by the time we got around to it, it was kind of getting close to lunchtime, and sometimes we'd have leftovers from the night before for brunch. And then it was off to my dad's side of the family, to my grandmother and grandfather's, for the afternoon and for Christmas dinner. And my dad was the oldest of 4, so I was an only child, but his one sister had 4 kids. The other one the other two sisters each had two. So there was lots of cousins, and then they started marrying, and those, couples come along. And then it got to be, as the cousins were marrying off and that, and there was some cousins having kids, eventually grandkids, but my grandparents moved into town into an apartment, so my dad's oldest sister started hosting it. And then eventually, as families grew, everybody started having their own, my aunts, their kids, their grandkids, whatever, they started going off and doing their own, traditions. So I kind of fizzled off, and that was along about the time that I got married. So then there's another thing of traditions. I'm going to pause there, and we'll just go check. Let's see. Josh is on his way home. Reed come up. Our biggest tradition was watching Christmas movies. And I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. We went to Huddle House, similar to Waffle House, for Christmas breakfast every year. That's cool. Hello, Daryl. Welcome. So when I got married, and I had my first child the following year, it was, I might go to my parents on Christmas Eve and hang out. My parents would come over Christmas morning and watch my children open their gifts, and then I just have something for breakfast. Most times it was muffins or quiche or something. It wasn't anything fancy. Having kids and that, trying to do all that it wasn't that organized. And then they would hang out for probably till after lunch sometime, and then my mom and dad would go home. And then we'd end up going to my ex's mom and dad's for Christmas dinner, because of my kids had 7 or 8 other cousins. And a couple more came out along after that. So we had Christmas with the cousins. And then we took around on Boxing Day on the 26th. And then my ex and I and my boys would go over to my mom and dad's, and we would have our Christmas dinner then. Josh says, Steve makes a breakfast casserole. Yeah, I should get into trying something like that. My cousin's wife talked about overnight French toast, but I never got the recipe. Yeah, we won presents in AM, went over to mother-in-law's for breakfast, then home till later in the day. And as much as I love seeing my cousins, it sucked when you were really young and you had all these presents, and then you got hauled away. You might be able to bring one with you, but then there was other presents. Once upon a time, my parents would buy for all my cousins and my aunts and uncles and all that. I think it ended up drawing names, so it wasn't so many gifts and stuff. And but then, things change again. My kids were 3 and 7 when their dad and I split up, so we changed traditions. However, his parents, my kids' grandparents, wanted to keep us part of the family, so we were still welcome to come over for Christmas dinner. So the kids got to still see their cousins. He says, last time he was in Canada, Boxing Day, everything was closed. Now it's a huge shopping day. Yeah, it's like a mini version of Black Friday, pretty much. I think I've gone out shopping once on Boxing Day. I think without my mother-in-law, and it was a little crazy. And then things kind of switched around as, like, my sister-in-law and her husband, their kids started having kids, so then they started kind of doing their own thing. So we ended up Boxing Day. This is after my parents passed. Boxing Day was kind of my ex's side get together. And I remember my oldest was working retail, at the mall and had to work Boxing Day. And there was a snowstorm that day, of course, on top of everything else. So our traditions continue for a little bit. My parents would, when they were still alive, would come over for Christmas morning. And I started a tradition with my kids where our Christmas breakfast was really simple. Pillsbury cinnamon rolls, some fruit, coffee, my parents, juice, and some, after a while I put in some fruit so, it wasn't all junk or sweets. And I got somebody in my basement.
Hello, beautiful people.
And Amy's saying hello, and so is Michelle.
Hello, beautiful people.
How are you doing, my friend?
Fantastic. I just got home.
Just got home?
Steve brought me to a store he should never bring me to.
Uh-oh.
The sex shop.
You only wish. It's called Henry's. Have you ever heard of Henry's? It's a photographer's delight. And I was just there. I was like, I'll take one of those, 3 of those, 2 of those. But then I'm like, I'd have to sell my teardrop.
Sorry, what was that for about the teardrop?
I said I would have to sell it if I would want to have all the things that I saw. So I was like, no. So, because it was a lot.
Oh, it's not my internet.
Can
You're cutting me out, hon. I'm freezing.
I'm freezing. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
No worries. So one tradition I started, besides cinnamon rolls for breakfast, another tradition I started when my oldest was about 2 years old, we started decorating gingerbread houses. And that carried on until probably when my oldest moved out. And there's been the odd time we've still done little ones here and there. And we've done them every year. Even the one year we couldn't find a single gingerbread house kit anywhere. I built a thing out of cardboard, took the icing, and I covered the cardboard house thing with graham crackers, and then we decorated it with candy. And the kids still thought that was great, Well, we did the chocolate advent calendars. I think my oldest still does it off and on. Better. So far.
Yay!
But even last year I did gingerbread house. We did them with Amy. This year, if I do one, I got a kit thing from Giant Tiger with an Oreo mini spooky house. But instead of it's pretty small, but instead of using the Halloween decorations, I would just get some Christmas decorations. If not, I might just eat the Oreo cookies.
There's nothing wrong with the Oreo. It's the best part. Sorry, Steve was pissing.
It's okay. I've got a cough too, so I'll join them probably. But
hello, beautiful people in the chat. Sorry.
No, we started when my oldest was 2 years old. And it was interesting to see the progression over the years of trying to decorate the house and how much icing got all over the floor and rails.
Do you always try to make sure that there's a Christmas tree, snowman, and a Santa, or a reindeer?
It was usually the Christmas tree and I think the little snowman or gingerbread men with it.
Yeah.
Which quite often didn't make it there. It ended up getting decorated and ate.
Yeah. The gingerbread man never made it. But the Christmas tree and the snowman always did. Because marshmallows, even if they're hard, they can still wait. Because they're still good when they're crunchy.
And that was the other challenge with the gingerbread house too, is getting more on the house than in their belly. It's like 1 for the house, 3 for the belly.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Sure.
When I first met Steve, the first Christmas he brought me to his family, I asked his nephews, I said, do you guys decorate, a gingerbread house or anything? And the youngest one goes, I'm the only one who loves doing it. Nobody else does. So I was like, at Christmas, I get there with a huge box. And everybody's like, what's in the box? I said, sorry, it's just for him and I. You guys can take part if you want, but I heard that you guys don't like setting up for gingerbread houses. This girl does. And he opens it, and there's like 4 kits of gingerbread and every candy you can imagine. He goes, I like it. It's going to be a good Christmas.
Awesome.
So the other 2 kids actually took part. And I was like, yes.
Amy saying, well, now I have icing sprinkles I need to clean up thanks to Adelaide. She dug it out of the trash and had a grand time decorating.
Oh, no. Yeah, Amy, how do you decorate when you're moving? Like, that must be a pain.
She was saying the last week or the week before, it was like 2 years in a row she won't be decorating for Christmas. I said, just pile up the boxes like in a triangle and throw a blanket or something over. There's your Christmas tree.
Exactly. Throw a blanket over it, and there we go.
Stick some stuffy on top of the star or whatever.
Or she can cut her cardboard boxes. And I know she has paint. She just paints them green and sticks them to the wall and weird manner. And it was like, looks like a Christmas tree.
Hello, Crystal. Hello, James. Oh, say hello to each other. So then, I always seem to be decorating the Christmas tree. So about 6 years ago, before we moved to the townhouse, I finally convinced the kids to help decorate the Christmas tree. So I made it a tradition since we moved here that once my oldest lives half an hour away now, we get together on a Sunday in November, usually after Remembrance Day, and I get the tree up and all the branches fluffed, and they just have to come along and put the decorations on and candy canes. Half the time I had to restock candy canes because they would go through them eating them. But things are going slow and steady when the race.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job.
Mm-hmm. Wish I was there, but we are sending the positive vibes.
So I'm just wondering what some people's traditions are, what their favorite Christmas movies are, favorite Christmas songs, their favorite Christmas foods. What traditions do you have around the holidays for?
Our tradition is because our family was blessed with one of our family members getting an organ during the holiday season. So our tradition is always we have this specific light. It says hope, faith, love. And I don't know what the other word is. There's 4 words anyways. So we have this lantern, and the last week of Christmas we turn it on, and we keep changing the battery for a whole week because we think we have our family member, but they don't. So to us, that's more important than a tree. So because we always think our family is rejoicing and theirs are just remembering. So
yeah. Christmas isn't always a happy time for everybody.
Yeah. So I was like, I remember how hard it was in the hospital during the holidays. And I said, and our family was on the receiving end. So imagine how they were feeling because they had to make the decision to donate and lose their loved ones. So I always say, during holidays, if you can drop something off at the hospital, either the emergency room, surgery room, something, it makes a big difference. Hi, Amy.
Hello, Amy.
How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Good.
Paul's favorite movie's A Wonderful Life.
Oh, yeah, I like
Reading
that.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Classics.
Steve has that hat. A famous hat.
How's the packing going?
It's going. I just have a little bit left in the kitchen, and then basically my bedroom. So all the decorations in my bedroom, and then all my clothes in the closet. So bedding and all that kind of stuff.
You only got a few more days. My goodness.
Got 2 more days left of work.
Ooh. Can I ask you a stupid question? Do you have the packing tape gun thing?
No,
You
but I
just
have.
do it
Well,
by
I'll show you
hand.
what I do have.
Or do you just do it by hand? Because once I was introduced to packing tape, I was like, I can move it all the time now.
I think I have it. Or did I give it to my oldest
I have
when they were
this.
packing?
Oh, do you know what that thing in the middle does?
This?
Yeah. That's for when you're looking for the tape. You push it, and it'll pull the tape up.
Huh. Did not know that.
Something I learned on YouTube. Michelle, I agree.
Christmas story.
Well, not everybody has a good Christmas, so. Look, she's paying attention. She's like,
What's that? What's that?
She's high on sugar.
oh yeah.
She's dancing, and then I go into her kennel.
Oh, 1 year
I
at
get
Christmas.
her bowl out of her kennel because I fed her in her kennel this morning, and there's freaking sprinkles in her bowl, like the little circle sprinkles.
She
I
wanted to
find
decorate.
And I find the empty bottle in her kennel, and there are sprinkles all over her kennel. She did, because I threw it away the other night when I was packing, because I was like, the icing and the sprinkles are like at least 2 years old, if not older. So I was like, I don't need it. So I tossed it, and she dug it out of the trash can, and I have 3 patches of red icing on my carpet, and then her kennel is full of sprinkles.
Yeah, red icing.
Yeah. Another 1 year at Christmas time, my ex's grandmother was in a nursing home and she wasn't doing well. So I went and because the boys went and spent time with their dad. I sat in the nursing home with Grandma Taylor. Well, everybody got together. So Grandma Taylor wasn't home until my mother-in-law came back that evening after dinner, and she passed that night. Between Christmas and Boxing Day, so I was like, well, at least she wasn't alone.
Adelaide.
And the family got time together.
Sorry, Busby.
Nope.
They would have been 74.
Happy birthday in heaven, Busby's dad.
Celebrating with Jesus.
11 years. This is sad. 11 years ago today, my stepdad was put on hospice. Like, to the day, like Thursday, December 8th.
Wow.
So tomorrow
I
would
think it
be
was a Thursday, and I want to say it was December 8th.
the anniversary of my Nana's death.
Mm-hmm.
She hadn't met me because we were living out west, and we were flying home. And while we were flying home, she passed away.
Oh.
2011. December 8th, 2011.
December the 9th is the anniversary for that, but it's not as memorable for me as it was for my mom. But
Yeah.
Because in Sunday, it will be 11 years since he passed away.
Time flies when you don't realize it, eh? And you're like, it's been that long? Like, you just.
Yeah. Like, I have to sit there and think, and I was like, geez, it's been that long, like, since that happened.
I think of how long my dad has been gone, and I'm like, how long? Like, it's like, it's kind of like a reality check.
well, my mom was my adopted mom, not my birth mom, but my adopted mom was 16 years in June, and my dad was 10 years in 12 years in September. And it doesn't seem that long. It just seems like, a few years ago. But Lots of things have changed.
Let me find it.
Jim says he gives Cindy a deck of cards.
Is Cindy like my dad? She loves to play cards.
No, it has to do with something that Paul posted on Facebook.
Okay, well, what did Paul post on Facebook? I'm sorry.
Where?
Mr. Paul, come on, fess up. What did you post? I just got home. I don't have time to do 5 social medias. I did one today, not even a full one.
Oh. Let me see if I can do this.
Oh, Michael Lynn. Let's see what Michael Lynn's got magic going.
It's his today's drive time attempt at humor. Yeah, Meg, be careful. He goes, if your lady wants, are you finding? Yep, there you go.
Your lady wants something with diamonds in it for Christmas. Get her a deck of cards. Follow me for relationship advice.
Oh, gosh. So now we have to specify diamonds from the jewelry store versus diamonds from Costco special.
I seen a cute one too. That the two guys sitting in the doctor's office, and one guy's got a neck brace in his arm in a sling, and the other guy's got a black eye on his arm in a sling. And they're looking at each other, and he's like, "Yeah, I bought my wife a vacuum for Christmas too."
It's funny because I requested a Dyson vacuum for Christmas too. I was like, no, it will not hurt you.
Someone said you never buy your wife something that plugs in, but then depends if she wants a hair straightener or a curler or curling iron.
There's
or
a lot
whatever.
of things that can plug in nowadays, like a phone.
Yeah, like
Michelle is asking really good Canadian trivia.
Yeah. Why is that?
it's actually, I think it comes from UK more, but I don't remember all the details. To be honest,
I just call it, today's the day you can pack, like Boxing Day. You unpacked all your gifts from your boxes, put it to the recycling, tie it up with a big bow and say, thank you to the guy who picks it up and give him a gift card. That's what we do.
My aunt, her Boxing Day would be taking everything down and packing it back up again. And it's like, it's not ready the day after Christmas to
No,
put
me neither.
Christmas away yet.
That's why I just do the gifts. Throw all the boxes and stuff. Like, you've had it for 24 hours. Let's get rid of the boxes, you know.
Meg says, to be fair, Paul doesn't treat her like that.
Oh, thank God. Good job, Paul. I'm so proud of you.
Paul, you better not be giving her a deck of cards for.
I'm convinced that Addie wants to be a YouTube star now. As much as she, like when I do stuff on the computer, as much as she's tries to get in there, she's seen on every live that I do.
I say, why not? Put a GoPro on her chest and let's go.
I have a holder. I do have. I have one that I can attach the GoPro to her and see what she does.
In this store, I used one for $40. I was like, used at $40? That's expensive. For a strap.
There's a lot of people out there that put their dogs on YouTube and make lots of videos and get lots of.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll put it on her and I'll take her into PetSmart.
PetSmart from a dog's perspective.
Yes. Yes.
The voiceover.
You can voice over go, man, I wish they had smell-o-vision right now because these treats smell so delicious.
How cool would that have been if I had that on her when she picked out the kangaroo leg?
She was looking for the roux balls.
She found the leg that was the closest to the roux balls, so.
Exactly.
Boxing Day was created as the day people gave less fortunate groups gifts. Okay. I used to know all those traditions and stuff, and then it's like,
Yeah, I'm too old no more.
I know why Black Friday is called Black Friday, but
Why? Is it because there's no sun?
no, because that's the day that businesses went from being in the red, profit sales wise, to being in the black.
Gotcha.
makes sense.
Well, nowadays they're always in the black because everything's too expensive.
Well, it used to be crazy with all the Canadians going stateside to do all the shopping on Black Friday. Then Canada started having Black Friday specials.
Mm-hmm.
People from going across the border and spending the money over there.
But it's still better in the States. Like, hands down.
Michelle's saying that would be really funny. I could see that. That's smart from Addie's perspective. Oh, excuse me.
You know what would be even funnier? Owner versus pet. Had like, you have split screen of who has what.
I'm gonna do it.
Just do it.
Or Addie checking out the new apartment too. Like,
Yes.
What's all these smells? What's all these smells?
Let's review this apartment. Square footage smells delicious.
So we look, crumbs. Where are they? That would be interesting from Callie's perspective.
When he goes for a walk.
Well, his nose is always to the ground.
Yeah.
That's where he's part bloodhound.
Could be.
He's a shepherd mix. Don't know. 100%. Shepherd and Doberman we know, but we haven't had him tested. I ain't paying that kind of money to get him tested. Not my dog. Speaking of which, I thought he came in here. Must have left again. I had my door closed most of the way, and all of a sudden it opened.
So I just opened an email from Bark, and they're giving a sneak peek of January's theme. And I get the Super Chewer box. What does that bottom one look like?
Upside down pineapple. Looks like Solex and an upside down pineapple.
Or to have a baby.
The change of address done for his Bark box.
Nah, I need to.
Seen that?
Oh, good. She's calmed down. She's sitting down chewing on her bone.
Yay.
For now.
Crazy.
So, anybody else have any Christmas traditions? Or had them growing up? Or
With my mom and my stepdad, somehow we started opening at least one gift on Christmas Eve, and then the rest were done on Christmas morning. And then we just did a big dinner with turkey and ham because my stepdad loves turkey. And then that was about it.
I got my turkey already too.
Since Steve and I have been married, we've gone a lot of places for Christmas. So now I think our tradition is now to try everybody else's Christmas.
Sure, why not?
So this Christmas, hopefully, we are going to see my cousins. Hopefully.
Next, I usually open Christmas gifts. Just Christmas Eve, just relax Christmas Day. I tried to start one with the kids when they were older. And I did a box that had, but the one year I bought onesies for everybody. So there was onesies, there was Christmas onesies, there was popcorn and hot chocolate. And for some reason that was the only year that happened.
Yeah.
It just kind of went, everyone's like, oh, and they put their onesies on, and oh, these are too hot, and they come off again, and everybody got busy. Nobody watched the Christmas movies. Nobody had the hot chocolate. It's like, okay, well, that fizzled. Guess it's something to start when they're young.
Yeah. When we were kids, when my grandma was alive, that's what we would do. She'd be like, okay, everybody's got to go to church at whatever. So, we'd have snooze, we'd have a nice meal, but it wouldn't be a heavy meal. It'd be like a nice meal. And then we'd play cards and games or whatever, watch a movie. After the movie, we'd have to go to church. And there was always my uncle or one of my aunts that would stay behind and stack all the presents around the tree. And then so when we come back from church, we'd be like, look, Santa Claus came and visited. Because technically it was now, December 25th at like 12:30 in the morning. And we're like opening presents till 4 o'clock. And then we'd just crash. But my grandma liked it that way because when people woke up, we had to she would just literally just have boiled eggs and toast. Because we would all eat a big feast for dinner, Nobody was really in the mood to eat. Because, we all open all sorts of foods like popcorns and chocolate bars. So we'd eat that at 4 o'clock in the morning. So we weren't hungry. I like how Michelle says she shops both in Ohio and Pennsylvania. Check. I got to go shopping with Michelle.
Ohio tax on food, Pennsylvania does. Ohio charges tax on clothes, Pennsylvania doesn't. So
Interesting. I got to do like Michelle now.
Ohio's just a little too far for me. Well, my daughter-in-law's family's in Ohio, but it's just a little too far.
So that's why I like the Trader Joe's in Ohio, no tax. Gotcha.
Well, it was like, we did it for a while when I was growing up. We'd go to my aunt, my aunt and my uncle and my mom took turns doing Christmas Eve for that side of the family. And quite often it was like we would go to 11 o'clock communion at church by the time we got home. And sometimes it was one gift you could open, but most times it was just go to bed, so get up for Christmas morning, or having to had to go to bed because Mom and Dad still had stuff to wrap. Hey, Troy. Good to see you.
Troy, pinch everybody's cheeks for me. Not peaches. Don't ask.
Well, your peaches look pretty good in those.
Yeah, red is your color.
Yeah.
That's a shame I didn't get him Budgie Smugglers. He could have been the spokesperson.
I've seen all kinds of those boxers around now.
I know.
One
person that has them, everybody seems to have them after them.
I was in the mall the other day and it was like walked past one of the things and there was in the one that displays. I was like, that would be really cool, but I'm not paying that much for underwear for my kids. Sorry.
Well, if you think of it, it's the male version of a woman paying for a bra. Because it supports. So, I'm just saying.
I agree. It would be cool. But I'm shopping on a budget this year after the cruise. And what happened after the cruise, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So.
I'm with you there.
They got birthdays coming up. Maybe they'll get them. One's in February, one's in March, and one's in August. Maybe then, but not now.
I'm going to see my nieces and my nephews for Christmas. The gift I am bringing is, let's play a family game, because I'm never here to play a family game.
I bought a family game.
I have a lot of games, so I could just bring a whole box full of games.
We have Cards Against Humanity, and we have Cards Against Disney, and we play Uno and stuff like that. But I was in the dollar store, and there was a basic part and then an expansion part for a game called Relative Insanity, and it's kind of somewhere between Cards Against Humanity and the Apples to Apples
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I thought, well, it's a change, and between the two things, it cost me $7 and something. So it's like something we can play
Oh,
on Christmas Day after dinner. So sounds like fun. I think it was developed by Jeff Foxworthy or something to do with Jeff Foxworthy on the back of the box. So it was like, yeah,
Here,
why not?
I'll show you. I'll show you one of my favorite games.
Hey,
I'll
Ringo.
share it. Hi, Ringo. Okay, but again, this is in Canadian prices. I didn't pay that when I originally bought it. Here, I'll share it. Oh, sorry, I'll present it. I have to push present.
Present. It's like a present.
Let me present my favorite card game. And no, I don't do this, but it's just a fun game. I brought this to my class, and they all looked at me like, V? And I was like, I have something to explain. I said, no, it's just a card game. It's called Unleash Your, what is it? Unleash Your Inner Hippie with Weed. It's hilarious, especially if you play 4 people. Like, it's like, you just don't stop laughing.
Uh-oh. She
Oh.
booted herself.
Lost her.
Let's say my youngest and my adopted one would probably get a kick out of that. My oldest might. Where'd you go, V? Come back.
Well, hopefully we get her November or her December bark box. It says it's out for delivery, but it's tracking to be shipped by December, to get here by December 24th.
Do they have a thing in your postal service where you can forward stuff?
Yeah, but it's not. Oh, it is by the mail, so maybe they will forward it.
Because that's what I did when we moved. It was like I went to the post office and paid. It was a ridiculous amount, but they forwarded our mail to. So
Yeah.
Wrong button.
So oops, she booted herself.
Oh, it's done by UPS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love card
Mm.
games. Any suggestion of more good card games? Let me know, because I'm like taking notes.
Well, quite often we would sit around after dinner and not do anything, but it seems like lately my oldest, my daughter-in-law, my youngest, his girlfriend like to sit around and play different card games. So, and I don't know what I'll probably do something another night because my adopted one can't go over on Christmas. You know, he's tried. I got him 1 year for Christmas Eve for a while, but that would turn into a fiasco. So we usually set up another time. Wonder what December's bark box is going to be. November was Frosty.
Yeah. I don't know what the theme is.
Game for what?
Adelaide's been getting
December bark box.
bark box, a box of toys and treats. The November one was all Frosty stuff. Thanks, Meg. We're just gonna look that up. So
Well,
I'm
thank
gonna
you, Meg.
replace that pin. So I don't have to do that. What? Your StreamYard. I just lost my StreamYard thing. Yep, we got about 15 minutes, and then we'll go over.
Steve went, what? His mouth is open and all. He just closed it. What's happening?
Steve doing better? Because I'm not hearing as frequent a cough. Oh, something was gross.
I can't watch those things. No, you can send Michael Ann that link through WhatsApp. She'll watch that and she might puke like I am.
So did you see what happened to that guy?
Oh, so I told you guys about the FedEx driver, right?
Yeah.
It came out. supposedly what he did today, like what exactly happened. I guess he was backing up and he accidentally hit her. And so instead of calling 911, and like she was talking, she was fine. Like she was talking to him and saying that she was going to tell her dad that she was hit by in the FedEx truck and everything. And he tried to break her neck. And when he couldn't, he strangled her to death.
This one sick puppy.
Yep.
Ouch. Ouch. Hi, Rob.
Like awful. And to think I was alone with him so many times.
Like he, like his brain just snapped. Like it just doesn't-
Panic and that is just.
That's scary. That's super scary.
I always was overcautious, especially with my youngest, because when he was just a baby, I had a dream that he got hit in a parking lot. So I was always overcautious. Anytime I was with him, it's like, hold my hand, no, you stay right here with me. Don't. He's been hit at least 3 times by vehicles.
Oh, geez.
What?
And it's in his late teens, early 20s. One, he walked his girlfriend home and he was coming back across when we lived in the house and got clipped. Second one, a driver ran a stop sign in the college parking lot and clipped him. And I forget what the third one was. And I was like, I had dreams of you getting hit when you were like this tall, like a little toddler.
So you stopped it when he was young, but now he's older. He's still.
I can't be with him all the time.
God, you need to put a hula hoop with him with fluorescent lights and reflectix on him and say, when you're outside, you need to wear this.
Taser on him. He'll microchip him. He's been my challenge, but hey, he's still here with me, so that's all.
That's what it is. Okay, beautiful people, I will let you go. I'm going to go prep what I wanted to prep, and I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Alrighty.
Love you, people. See you soon.
We'll see you.
We'll head over there in 11 minutes. Pin to the top. Your walls look so bare behind you now.
I know.
No, Rob, he hadn't go to the hospital for any of those. Nothing broken, just badly bruised. As far as I know. Times he's been to the hospital. He was working in a kitchen and a cater, did little eatery, plus they did catering, and he was cutting up stuff on the cutting board, and the whole shelf unit fell on his hands. That's one hospital visit in his later years, and the other one was tonsillitis. His throat was almost closed shut, but not so many hospital visits with that one. To play some dominoes over Christmas, Mr. Paul. That's one thing I really haven't played is dominoes. We play Uno, and I have the Yahtzee set there too. So quite often, it's like it drives me crazy because my youngest and my daughter-in-law will come over, or my oldest and daughter-in-law will come over on Christmas Day. We open presents. Sometimes I get a little bit of help prepping stuff. But quite often I walk into the living room and everybody's on their computers or on games or what. It's like, oh great, that's but oh well. That's this part is being together.
Yep.
I guess. It's one of my love language. My love language is number one is quality time. And so we're my oldest and my adopted one are quality time. My daughter-in-law and my youngest, I forget what theirs is. I'd have to look it up. I have the sheets somewhere. And my son's girlfriend hasn't done it, so I don't know what hers is. Loads of hospital visits in your lifetime so far.
I've been to the ER 3 times. And 2 of them were really because it was like the only option with the time of night.
And I haven't been for a while. Knock on wood. Yeah, the kids haven't. Well, my youngest was in 2018. Yeah, first Canada Day 2018. And that night we ended up in the ER because his throat was so sore he couldn't wait till the next day because all the walk-in clinics were closed on Canada Day. So we ended up in the ER like 1 or 2 in the morning till about 6 a.m. By the time they got waiting to get back and waited to get looked at, and then she looked at him and went, "Oh, we're going to put you on steroids and an antibiotic. But we're going to give you the first dose intravenously." That's after he had already looked at the ER pump or the IV pump going, "What's that? Oh, that's for intravenous. You won't need that." Oops. And then he got his tonsils out 3 months later.
Oh, geez.
Well,
Now I'm coming up on 12 years for my first ER visit when they took my appendix out, but I had a ovarian cyst that had burst. Worst pain ever.
From what I've heard, yeah. I've had problems with neither. Knock on wood.
I mean, to drag me to the ER on Christmas. And then the second time was asthma. Like, I couldn't breathe. I needed the breathing treatment. Like, I just could not breathe. And it was so late. It was after work. And it was after Christmas. Like, I should have gone Christmas Eve because it was really bad. And I was like, I'm not doing Christmas in the ER again. And so I waited. And then it was like the day after Christmas, I went into work. And I'm like, nope, can't do this. And by the time I got off work, all the urgent cares were closed around me, and so the ER, and then I got like fluids and pain meds and all sorts of stuff, and like they did like 2 breathing treatments on me while I was there, and then just recently for my ribs.
Yeah. I got bit by a dog on Christmas Day once. Wasn't a pleasant Christmas.
I bet.
Plus, his wife had a cyst.
Worst, when that thing burst, oh, so much pain. I couldn't even stand up straight.
I remember going to the ER a couple days before Christmas one year, but I can't remember what that was for. My cousin quite often ended up in the ER on Christmas because she'd stupid move, but she quite often would go to somebody's house that had a real Christmas tree, and she had severe allergies and asthma, and would end up in the ER because she couldn't breathe. I'm just wondering if part of this cough isn't part of my asthma, because usually respiratory will trigger it, but
yeah, mine.
It's not the breathing; it's just the constant cough.
I've had trouble breathing a couple nights, and then a cough and congestion and everything, allergies. But every time I move, just stirring up the dust and all of that, like
that'll do it.
So,
got bit by an X one Christmas Eve. That wasn't fun.
Oh, geez.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't want to know the story behind that. Keep that to yourself, Paul.
Yeah. Too much information? I don't want to know. I've heard enough things in the last few days. I don't need
right? All that too much information that we've been hearing. Geez.
Oh, my.
Things that were coming out of Kenny's mouth yesterday.
No kidding.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, well, I'll say not guys, but yeah, guys too. But so that's boys for you. Even as my son's in late teens and early 20s, it's like they get together and stop talking. It's like, excuse me, I'm in the room.
Well, it's one of those things. The things that were talked about, yes, I've talked about them before. I've heard people talk about it. It doesn't bother me. But when those things came out of Kenny's mouth, I'm like, no.
Who corrupted Kenny? I don't know. Some of the cards against some Mandy things I heard when they were playing the other night, I just kind of, what?
But I was just like, when he said some of those things yesterday, I'm just like, oh, Kenny, you're not supposed to say words like that.
I got cards against Mandy, but didn't get that till moved here. So that's 5 years ago. So my oldest would have been 24. My youngest would have been 19, 20.
Yeah, Rob goes, do I want to know what came out of his mouth? And Meg goes, no.
No.
Yeah,
it was what happened to sweet little innocent Kenny that we started.
Yeah.
No way.
No, it's not on YouTube.
Although, isn't the Friendsgiving thing on the Kenny's page? I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, the Friendsgiving, but the Cards Against Humanity wasn't the Friendsgiving. It was later in Mike's life.
That's right. Yeah.
Paul goes, really, Amy? After all you listened to from Kenny, my story is G-rated.
Kenny's a changed man since the cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, even before the cruise.
How long have I been saying Kenny is the cause of being in the wrong chat?
Mm-hmm. I don't think Ron Darrell's helped that situation out either. Leading up to that.
But yeah, I've been saying for months that Kenny is the cause of the wrong chat.
He doesn't say that too much anymore. Hey, Daddy. I know, but all boys think like that. Yeah, think like that. It doesn't need to come out, especially in mixed company. It's like the locker room talk, only they don't care who's in the locker room anymore. Yes, his laugh is infectious. I got a good one on what was that, the last night of the cruise? Our dinner? When Danny was sitting behind him, got him going.
Oh yeah, the last night in dinner, and then Najuma. I want to know how you bring up these emojis. Like, I'm gonna take a picture of what she just put on the screen.
Now I want to know what's being said.
She brings up this box all the time of emojis, and I have no idea how she does it.
Well, it gets me sometimes. Like I guess it depends whether I get on a PC or on Android or on a iPhone, because people bring up this emoji or that emoji, and it's like, I haven't seen that one before. Or I can do one on one thing and I can't do it on the other. I'm only 4 hours from now. Don't let me corrupt them. It's nice to have you all there making laugh last night.
I'm glad we were able to make him laugh.
Yep. So you wonder what else is going on there in the evenings, because we're only getting little snippets,
right?
And that's in our little board group. Miss Kenny's Kingsport project.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can find it or not, or you'd have to have an invite. Hello, Blaine.
Hey, Blaine.
Uh-oh. It's past time. It's time to head over and
Oh, yeah.
bug Call Me B. So we'll chat next week, folks.
Yes.
Oh, there. I think Meg dropped it there for you,
Yep.
Bugsby. We'll see you next week, and we'll do some other little fun things leading up to Christmas. Hit the link at the top and head over to Call Me B. Bye for now.
See y'all.